Have you ever spent hundreds of dollars and a bunch of time creating the perfect event or moment for a loved one just to have it all go south and be left wondering what in the world just happened? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. The concert versus the steak. Welcome to the Mental Health Janitors, where we help you clean up the mess in your head. I'm your host, Sergeant Q, and with me as always, Doc Jess.
Welcome. Hi. Thank you for being here.
All right, so this is a new segment that we're doing on the Mental Health Janitors.
That he's doing.
Jess actually doesn't know anything about this, but you're about to. I love this. I love having these surprises for you.
Yes.
And you love surprises. So here we go.
I love them.
Have any of you guys out there ever heard of this website called Reddit?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you've heard of Reddit.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I'm sure you guys have too. And if you haven't, you're missing out. Some great stuff on there. One of the really popular segments is Am I the
a-hole?
Right.
Okay.
She said it, not me. Okay.
I see the acronym now. I'm like, what is that? Okay.
So what they do is they tell a story and ask the public, like, am I in the wrong here or is the other person in the wrong? So what we're going to do is read a couple of these.
I love it.
And then we're going to unpack it. Well, I'll read the whole story and you're going to hear this brand new. So you have zero reference to this other than I'm going to tell you the story and then we will break it down.
Am I analyzing and unpacking Counselor Jess or just Jess?
Well, Counselor Jess.
Okay.
Jess.
Okay. Great. You guys are going to get the diplomatic, professional reflections.
But what I would love to do is let's tell us, we'll talk about that and then we'll talk about our personal experience in that similar situation.
Okay.
And maybe what we did good or bad. And then we'll educate them on this and then we'll empower them, give them some tools. So when they're faced with something similar,
this is genius. I love it.
They can work through it and then we'll encourage them to take next steps, whatever those are. So our same three that we hit: educate, empower, and encourage. And these are great because they're fun stories that people tell and we'll be able to share those with you guys. So here we go. So am I the a-hole for wanting to finish my food at a restaurant? This happened the other night. My girlfriend and I are still not talking. I thought I'd get Reddit's opinion. I, 27 male, managed to get Bruno Mars tickets for my girlfriend, 25 female. He's her favorite singer. And we haven't been on a date night in a while. So we decided to go out for dinner in the city before heading to the show. I'll be the first to admit I've not been in the best moods recently because of stressful work circumstances. So this is something my girlfriend knows. And even though I was tired, I was still committed to going out that night. Because of the previous mentioned circumstances, I was late meeting my girlfriend for dinner by like 20 minutes. I didn't think it was a big deal until halfway through the meal, she starts to get antsy about making it to the opener. For context, the opener usually starts around 7 and it was like 6:50. It's a 5-minute walk to the stadium and I'm halfway through my steak. She suggested that I just get a box and sneak it into the stadium for later. I said no, because I paid for this steak and I don't want to risk it getting thrown away. Steak should be enjoyed fresh as possible. And I don't want to use a microwave. Why does she even care about the opener? I thought she was there for Bruno Mars. It's bad enough that I'm already taking her out to thirst over Bruno Mars, singing explicit songs about sex. And now I'm being torn from my steak dinner. I tell her that if she's that worried about it, she can go by herself. So she gets up and leaves me there with my dinner and the bill, which he took her out, so he should be paying the bill. I was so mad, I didn't even meet her at the concert after. I let her go alone since she clearly cared more about it than me. When she texted asking me where I was, I said, enjoy Bruno Mars. I'm enjoying my meal. I guess she didn't like that because she's been giving me the silent treatment ever since. Be honest, am I the a-hole?
Yes.
That was quick. You judged that really fast.
No, I knew from the beginning how he opened it, where this was going. Yes.
So you already judged before you heard the story.
No, I am very good at picking red flags up early on. He made excuses for his lifestyle right now and why he was late. Oh, I'm stressed out at work. It's like you opened with excuses. That's a huge red flag to anybody who has common sense and some emotional maturity and intelligence. Yes.
Right. This is hitting a little close to home. I think, like, you're feisty over this. Does this happen to you?
Well, no, because I'm usually the late one. And so I have had to learn that like the things I take on in my life that then affect my relationships are my fault.
Oh, yeah.
So the day I got out of the Army, I was like, I'm never going to be on time for another thing in my life.
And you've been correct. You've got a perfect record.
I am late all the time because I just was like, I was on time. I was not even on time, early to everything for so long. I'm exhausted from this and I'm a free spirit. So nobody's going to tell me, obviously, when I go to work, I have to be there on time. But other than that, like work and church, other than that, I'm like, hey, I'll get there when I get there.
Yeah, like this podcast.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm not beating you up over it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
It is what it is. And so my husband, on the other hand, he likes to be early to everything. And quality time is, important to him. And so just because it's not as important to me doesn't mean it negates that it's important to him. And I've had to learn that the hard way. I was this guy. I was the a-hole for a while, thinking, well, I'm busy at work, I'm doing this, like that's me. That's all. I've chosen this career. I've chosen to do these things. I've chosen, and you're telling me that he said they haven't gone out for a while. Mm-hmm. I'm already in a bad mood most of the time because how stressful I am. Like those are the red flags that immediately I was like, okay, this guy is going to be the a-hole. And it turned out he was. It's excuses. There's no excuse for being in a bad mood when you're taking your girlfriend out on a date.
I looked at this differently. I looked at this he's still the a-hole.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Still. Yeah. But I just looked at the reasoning differently.
Okay.
I thought here he's talking about how he's trying to create this special moment for his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And she loves Bruno Mars. And so he spent this money and created this whole event for her.
But made it all about him.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I looked at it that way too.
He made it all about himself.
100%. Yes.
Well, I need my steak. I need this. And he said this. He said, obviously, she cares more about this concert than me. Bro, obviously, you care more about your freaking steak
than her.
Than spending quality time with her.
Yeah.
And what he fails to understand here, and I hope that he gets this piece, is this, I think, is the key that will unlock a lot in his relationships. Not just this one, but all of them, is that he's trying to create this experience for this person. Mm-hmm. So then you have to take yourself out of it completely. How they receive it is how they receive it. Mm-hmm. That's not your job. Your job, you said you wanted to create this experience. And so you have to remove your selfishness from it.
Yes. It's all, if you're creating this for them, make it about them.
Make it all about them. Because it's not just the concert. It was the whole experience of that. Yeah. Here's somebody that she's wanted to see for a long time, loves this music. I don't really know any of the songs, don't know the guy, but she obviously cared about the music. And so she has a lot of probably emotional connections to the artist and the songs for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. Now, he has a great opportunity to interject himself into a already established emotional connection in her brain.
Yes.
And become part of something that's already built there through that neuro connection. He has a great opportunity to build on that. He's not building from zero. Mm-mm. And it wouldn't take a whole lot of effort for him to really cement himself in her emotional equation when it comes to that music, which obviously she listens to all the time.
Right.
Because now when she thinks about the music, she's going to think about the time that they spent together, the great time they had. He surprised her with his tickets. And, he left his steak dinner to make sure she got there on time and just doted over her the whole time. There's already all of this neuro pathway bandwidth attached to this song when it comes to emotion for her. Very easy for him to slip in.
Yeah.
But what he's done is he's completely destroyed that.
Yeah.
Because now when she thinks about that song, when she hears that song, she's not thinking about, oh, my boyfriend got me this stuff. She's thinking, what a jerk.
Yeah. What an a-hole.
Who ruined this really cool experience that we could have had. Yeah. And that negative bias is going to ruminate.
Oh, imagine what she's going through sitting at a concert by herself.
Right.
That's just.
She's got turmoil. She's like, what did I do wrong? He's upset. She cannot enjoy it.
Yeah.
he's going to have to work so hard now to repair the damage that he's done. 7 times harder, right? 5 to 7 times.
Yeah.
To repair that. Because if you guys know the negative bias, 5 to 7 times, you weigh a negative experience over a positive one. So he's going to have to work 7 times harder. When he would have just put in half the effort, he would have made huge gains in this.
Huge gains. Well, and that's the thing is like when I like that they say he's a 27-year-old male. So his emotional capacity for intelligence is not all there. So really good thing for putting it out there in the public and being pretty authentic about what really happened, right? It doesn't sound like you painted it in some kind of
himself in a good light.
No. So he's like, my hope is that he's actually wanting feedback to see if he's the a-hole or not. And hopefully he'll receive some of this feedback and be like, oh, okay, I can see it from that perspective, learn and grow from it.
You know, what's funny is I read some of these now. My daughter's one who got me into these, and people will rebuttal some of the comments people make. And most times, and I didn't read any rebuttals on here, but most times people put this out there and they're seeking justification for their behavior.
Yes.
And it's never really about how they felt about it. It's always about their behavior they're trying to justify. And the minute I see somebody trying to justify behavior, I'm like, oh, you already lost.
Yeah.
Because obviously you did something that's way out of pocket on this thing.
Yeah. My favorite mantra is all feelings are welcome, not all behaviors.
So true.
I have some families that I counsel and they put it on a poster board in their home when people... Remember, you guys, all feelings are welcome here, not all behaviors.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He could have been feeling that way and expressed that to his girlfriend, like, hey, I'm feeling stressed and this and that. But he has to remember, like, why did he start this? He put this whole thing together for her so they could have this experience. And he totally torpedoed this thing.
Yeah, there's so many things I could have avoided this. And we can't avoid all, these are great life lessons. And so really what shows in somebody's character is how you recover from a situation like this. So take the feedback, humble yourself, realize that, yay, I was the a-hole in this situation. I'm going to go back to her because she's probably not just giving you the silent treatment, buddy. She's probably broken up with you in her mind.
Yeah.
So
honestly,
if she did, then chalk it up and be like, okay, that was a mess up. If I do that again, I'm not going to be able to keep relationships.
And you're going to have to work really hard just to get back to neutral, just to get back to where you were before you even went to this event. And
I would advise the girl, if you were to ever watch this, girlfriend,
or just if you are the girlfriend who's had this experience, or boyfriend, right? If you've been on the other side of this.
Yeah. If your boyfriend or your partner has a moldable heart, moldable character, to be like, okay, I didn't see it in that perspective. Yeah, I guess I can kind of see how I was pretty selfish in that situation. We're just, our minds are wired to protect us, right? From being uncomfortable, from danger, from getting hurt. And so sometimes we get that tunnel vision and all we're thinking about is how I was mistreated, or what the unjust things that happened to me, when if we just, I could see how that would be. It hurts at first. It's not like, okay. But you just step over that line of that hurt and you say, hey, I can see that perspective and I get it. And I could see how that would be hurtful. And in the future, I'm going to try to keep that in mind and not do that. If you have a man or a woman that approaches the situation don't give up on them. That's a good character, because you guys are going to hurt each other. Relationships, we hurt each other. Not even just spousal relationships, friendships, we hurt each other. But do we come back and say, hey, I want to hear your perspective. I want to know how this made you feel so that I can be better in the future and we can hear each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love in James, it says, to be quick to listen and slow to anger. And I think a lot of it, he was already, when he bought the tickets, he was already upset because there was a key thing he said in there where I'm taking her to this event where she can fawn over this star. So he's already feeling insecure about it. And I wonder if that insecurity is what caused him to self-sabotage this whole
Very
thing.
likely.
So that was a really small piece in there, but it really stood out to me when I read through it, because I read through this a couple times because I really wanted to look at it. And that stood out to me, that piece. And I even read it wrong when I read it the first time. I had to go back and reread it because my brain keyed in on that so hard.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That verbiage.
A lot of men and women, a human nature, that defensiveness we come across stems from an insecurity. Seriously. That's what narcissists are. They become narcissists because of the insecurity.
Insecurity, yeah.
So not to make light of insecurities or make excuses for them. Like sometimes it's easier to forgive the people that we love when we realize it. This moment lapse in judgment or character or behavior stem from a place of insecurity. They owned it. They're going to learn and grow from it. How can I help rebuild that insecurity?
And fear also comes in.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And so think about in that moment, he felt maybe disrespected because he couldn't finish his meal and he's taking her to go see this other guy. So there's some insecurity, maybe some fear of loss. And so what happens when fear comes in the picture? The amygdala.
Yeah.
So stress, cortisol, adrenaline, what does that do? It narrows your focus.
Yep.
And now you don't have as many options available to you to make healthy decisions.
Well, and coming into it, just saying I've been stressed out because I've been like, when you're operating stressed out with higher cortisol levels, you just have less room to be tenderhearted and merciful and make allowances for each other's fault. That's found in Colossians 3.
That's right.
And it's when we take care of ourselves. And that's why the buzzword of self-care, I'm not talking go on a shopping spree. I'm saying put some boundaries around your stress at work so that you can take some time to yourself to be healthier, to show up to your loved ones better.
And that has to be a habit. It has to be something you do every single day. This is something you and I talk to every single person who asks us for help. We always tell them, what is your morning routine?
Yeah.
What is your sleep hygiene? That's a starting point.
Morning routine and sleep hygiene.
Every time.
Yep. Every time.
Because you've got to get those things right. Because anything else that you put in place, if those two are not foundational, anything else you put in place is going to be short-lived.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to relapse. You are. You've got to have that foundation down. And then when you start building on top, it's solid.
Yeah. And that way, when you go through seasons of life that are mountaintops and you keep that routine, they're even more of a mountaintop. And then when you go through the valleys and you keep that routine, you have more grit and resilience to walk through those valleys.
Absolutely.
With that solid foundational morning routine and nighttime routine, or your circadian sleep-wake cycle routines. Yeah.
Pastor Kevin says it all the time. Control the controllables.
Yes.
And he's absolutely right. But having that discipline and that routine allows your brain to have capacity to do that.
Yes.
Because a lot of times we're trying to control things that are way outside of our control. And so it causes us more anxiety, more stress, and it makes us feel even worse.
Yeah.
So the question for you guys in the audience today, for him, it was the steak. But what is it for you? What is your stake in your life that is causing you to stumble in your relationships? So that's something for you guys to think about.
As you see us unpacking, it wasn't the steak.
No.
It was the steak, but it wasn't the steak.
That's right.
It's never the steak.
You're getting ahead of me. You're stealing my thunder.
But no, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's never the steak. The steak is what brought things to the surface, but it wasn't the steak. It was all the other things we talked about. The insecurity about his girl Googling over him, the hard stress at work, the miscommunication. I mean, what could a phone call have been like, hey, babe, I'm running late. Can you put an order in for me because I want to be cognizant of our time to be there on time?
So
little things.
And here's how you can do this, right? I asked, what is your stake? Because that's the surface. That's what you can see. Well, it was the steak. But what's beneath it? So the questions that we can ask ourselves are, well, what about the steak that bothered me? And then you just you did the questioning the other day with me. Instead of saying why, you said
how, what, when, where.
Yes. So you want to go through that real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will be the brain. And I will be you be Pinky and I'll be the brain.
Okay.
So you asked me the questions.
Yes.
This is one brain right here. This is two sides of the brain you're having a conversation with yourself. So Jess is going to be posing the questions to the other part of the brain to discover what it is. It's not the steak. It's something below it.
Yeah. So how did it make you feel when the girlfriend suggested taking the steak to go?
It made me feel disrespected, like I wasn't important.
What was that like for you in the moment when you were excited about getting and eating that expensive steak and then feeling disrespected?
I felt angry and not important.
Where were you at when you first noticed that your girlfriend would enjoy a concert to go see Bruno Mars?
The first time I noticed was probably on our first date when she was showing me her playlist and all of it was Bruno Mars.
What were some of her favorite Bruno Mars songs?
I have no idea. But you see what we're doing there? We're kind of unpacking this question by question. And this is a made up scenario. We don't know what was going on in this guy's head, but we just showed you how you can start to ask yourself questions to get to that root cause of what the real
and I want to do another example of the reason we don't use why. Why were you so mad about the steak?
Do you want me to give the answer or do you want me to?
Well, you see how that comes across more to present you with an opportunity to get defensive.
Defensive, yes.
Because why were you, because you're, that kind of sounds like what's wrong with you. Why? Instead of what did it make you feel like when you couldn't eat the steak versus why did you get so mad about the steak?
Yeah, when you ask why, then you have to justify it. And
Yes.
you've got to plant a flag and
Yes.
justify it.
Yes.
They said, what did it make you feel? You don't feel defensive. You bypass that part of the defense mechanism of the brain.
Yeah. There's safety in explaining the feeling versus explaining the behavior. Remember, all feelings are welcome, not all behaviors. So why is addressing the behavior. Avoiding why questions is a better way to unpack the feelings versus the behavior.
So what this means is that you're going to have better conversations, better relationships, and you're going to get to know your friend or partner that you're having the discussion with on a more intimate level. So here's the challenge for you guys this week. What is your stake? What is that thing that's on the surface that's kind of making you nuts in a relationship? It could be with a coworker, your boss, friend, family member, spouse. What is that thing? Just pick one. You could probably pick 100. Just pick one. And then start asking yourself these questions. These are giants that we face in our life, Jess. These battles on the battlefield of the mind.
Yeah.
We do 3 things here. We educate, we empower, and encourage you on your mental health journey so you can fight the giants in your life. I'm Sergeant Q.
I'm Doc Jess.
And we're out.